Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the January edition of the Data Platform and Analytics Community Call. So excited to welcome you all in the new year. Just a few logistics before we get started. Just a reminder that the call will be recorded today. So if there's any concerns about that, now is the time for you to log out. But we will be recording the call, and and we will also post the recording in a couple of days. So that you can view it later, or you can send it to others that may have missed the call. We will also share all the decks that we are showing today in the call later also, and both of them will be shared on our Yammer site, and I will send you information about where the Yammer location is in a minute here. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. My name is Sri Ganapati. I'm a partner technology strategist. So my role at Microsoft is really leading this community of data platform and analytics partners like you all. And I'm based in Dallas and work with a number of system integrators here in the central region. And I'm excited to have a couple of my co-workers here today that are going to be presenting along with me. So we have Marla Michael from our product team, and she's a program manager, and she's going to talk about some fantastic resources we have around the advanced analytics space. And so she's going to share some information here shortly about Learn Analytics. And then I have a peer of mine, Subhash Javarani, who is also a partner strategist, and he is based in the West Coast, and he's going to talk about the modern data warehouse, which is the theme of today's call. He had also shared a blog post earlier, which I'll show you a link to in a minute here. And he's going to talk about some partner opportunities that we have around this area. And then we will also have some time, hopefully, at the end for question and answers. If you're joining the call for the first time, in your event builder link that you have all logged in right now, you have an option to send messages throughout the call. And I will moderate and look at those messages, and I will read it out to the speaker, so that way, if there are any important questions, we can answer it. So feel free to use that messages pane in your event builder platform to send us any messages that you have. So with that, let me start by showing you some of the resources we have in the partner community that we can engage you with. Subhash, if you want to move to the next slide. So we have a number of resources around our community efforts. Data platform and advanced analytics is the community forum that we are on today, but we also have communities for a number of other areas within the Microsoft set of products. So we have a community for app dev, we have a community for Office 365, we have a community for Windows, etc., and you see all those links there. And so this slide gives you a comprehensive list of all the resources that we have to communicate with you. From the data platform and advanced analytics space, we really work with partners or communicate with partners using three main mechanisms. This community call is one of them, and I'm so again happy to have all of you join the call, and please share this information with others that may be interested in joining it. We also have a Yammer group, and the link right there talks about the Yammer group that we have. And I'll also send this in the messages pane here shortly, so that you have a link to the Yammer group. That is where we will share all the post information about the meeting today, and also other important announcements throughout. And that's also a great way for you to ask questions to us and share information with us. So the Yammer group is a great way for you to get engaged with us on. And then we also have a blog series, and you see the link there for the blogs for the data platform. And we also share a monthly blog about different topics. And sometimes we also have blogs that we share more frequently, but at least once a month we talk about a topic that is relevant for that month. And this month, like I said, Subhash had a blog on modern data warehouse, and he's going to talk about that here today. So those are the different ways of engaging with us. And we also have a lot of training and enablement content. And again, I encourage all of you to join the Yammer groups, and again, sign up for the community calls going forward. So that is all the information that I wanted to share, and I'm excited to invite our first speaker, Marla Michael from the product team, to share some really good information about advanced analytics resources that we have for partners and customers. Marla, you have the floor.
Thank you, Sri. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. I guess it's good morning for most of you. I'm on the East Coast. I'm based out of the Boston office, and I'm delighted to be part of this conversation with you. I work in the Advanced Analytics Training team, as you can see, and we're part of the product group for Cloud and Enterprise, and we were created, I think, about a year and a half ago, and I'm 6 months into my tenure with Microsoft, having come from university and private industry, to help grow the capacity that our corporation has for developing training partners in advanced analytics. And it's been quite a ride, and I'm excited today to share with you the resources that we have available for you, our partners, who are just, so critical to getting the word out and learning about all of these different analytics tools that we have. Next slide. So what I'd like to talk to you about a little bit is just to kind of say who we train. So we're a training team that, like I said, was created about a year and a half ago. We develop advanced content, and I'll talk to that in a second, but our primary focus of who we train are you, our partners, as well as our internal Microsoft technical facing roles. And what I mean by that are the people that are actually touching the customers. You're touching the end customers, they're touching the end customers. And it's really important for us to make sure that you all have the latest information about the different technologies. The focus of what we train on are all of the Cortana Intelligence Suite tools, as well as Microsoft R Server. And we're very keen to listen to you and make this content available to you both in person and online. And I'll talk to that in a minute. So what I wanted, next slide, please. So one thing that distinguishes us as a training team from some of the other kinds of training resources that are available has to do with being product-centric or data science-centric. As you know, this whole big field of big data, IoT, all of the different analytics that we have in here, there's a lot of, dare I say, confusion about how do you actually learn about this stuff. Our team is specifically focused, we're based on the product team, we're specifically focused on helping our partners learn about the products, often within the context of different solutions. So what we don't do is we don't just teach about data science. We assume that people know something about data science and machine learning or have the capacity to learn about that. We focus primarily on those 300 to 400, that intermediate level, although there are some introductory kinds of overview courses that I'll talk to in a second about. Our strategy is really to put as much as possible online, because we recognize that everybody has different learning styles. We recognize that everybody has not a lot of time to take 5 days and go learn something, or 2 days and go learn something. But we also understand that sometimes it makes sense to kind of get your hands dirty and roll your sleeves up and really learn about this and learn about it from some of the top data scientists in the world. And that's the resource that we bring to you, our partners. What we're also doing is working to develop the certification exams. I'll talk to that. I include that in the resources that we have as part of our team. But the message that I want to leave here with you is that there are a lot of resources out there around learning analytics. Our particular team are focused on the Cortana Intelligence Suite and Microsoft R Server tools, and we're very keen to kind of help you with that. Next slide, please. So as you all are working with clients and learning about this, certifications become something that is very, very important. And we have been working on the development of 6 new data science certification exams. We're working with our learning organization within Microsoft to bring these to market. I'm pleased to say that one of them is actually available for taking right now, and a couple are coming on board shortly. I'm going to try to simplify what this slide says. So within our Microsoft Learning organization, when organizations like you get certified, you can pursue a Microsoft Certified Services Associate, MCSA path in different areas. And you can also then pursue a Microsoft Certified Services Expert in these different paths as well. For the time being, what I want to say is that these 6 new data science certification exams that are coming online this year will create 4 new MCSA paths in data science. well, I should say in big data. So one is in data science, and there's an exam there for Microsoft R Server and Azure Machine Learning. Those two taken together will get you an MCSA, and as you can see, the exam for Big Data with Microsoft R is already available, and there's a link on that slide where you can register today to take that exam. The second certified MCSA path in Big Data Engineering is coming online shortly, 775, the HD Insight course. I'm sorry, the HD Insight exam will be available next month for taking. It'll be available for registration at the end of this month. And you see that there's another exam there, Engineering Data with Microsoft Cloud Services, that will include ADF and Stream Analytics. The third path is an MCSA in Cloud and Database Development. That's actually a combination of a new course for NoSQL with DocumentDB and Azure Search and an existing exam that you can take today. And the fourth one is the MCSA in BI Reporting, and there will be a new exam available for Power BI probably in early fourth quarter, early April sometime. And again, that's combined with an existing exam there. So my point here is that we're being very aggressive about creating these different certification exams for you so that you can then tell your end customers what's available. Okay, next slide, please. If you note in that lower left-hand corner, there's a URL there called learnanalytics.microsoft.com. That is our Learn Analytics portal, and this is the place that we would love for you to come visit to learn about our trainings, learn about some training partners. That's a program that I run that I'll talk to at the end of this presentation. Learn about where you can get the online training, the certification, events, and webinars. As I said earlier, all of our different trainings that we offer from Microsoft are available to you, our partners, to take at no cost. We offer our trainings around the world. We have a lot in the U.S. We actually have a bot framework course coming up in, I want to say Houston, in the second week of February, and these are the kinds of the things that you can look at. The portal has the ability to filter on geography, on topic, on partner that can train and whatnot. Again, I'll talk a little bit about the training partner program so I don't confuse you as far as solutions partners, but we're trying to consolidate all the information that there is about training into one place so that you have a place that you can repeatedly come back to and it'll link to other resources that you have as a partner about some other things that you need to get. But where analytics training is concerned, we want you to come to learnanalytics.microsoft.com. We're working very hard to connect you and make sure that you get what you need. The next slide. When you do come onto this site, this is for those partners that end up also interested in creating and building their training practice. And what I mean by that is, so that's the training partner program that I run. So within the advanced analytics space, we know that our few trainers that we have on site cannot train the world. So I was brought on board to help cultivate the network of companies that actually, in addition to providing solutions, also want to provide training as a service to build their practice. And it might be in combination with providing solutions, it might not be, but that's the training partner program. So training partners have the ability to actually add their own deliveries onto this site so that when there are end customers that come to the site, because we're trying to route our end customers to the site as well, they can find companies who can train them. They can find companies who can provide solutions. And again, we're trying to, it's a work in progress, so we're always accepting feedback, but this is a place that we can actually filter and create connections and let folks know about what's available and what's not and help you. So the next slide, please. And I know I'm running through this very quickly, and I've talked to Sri, and I'm going to be very, very happy to come back and talk to you in the future about some of this activity. So this is kind of a view of what it might look like if you wanted to see some of the upcoming training. I will update this slide when we send it out to you, because this is an old view of what the portal looks like. This is a sampling of courses that both Microsoft and some of our training partners that we have online are offering. You can see it's a little dated. It was created last year in terms of the dates that the courses are available. But what I want to draw your attention to is the fact that we have a broad range of different classes. They're all related to advanced analytics that people can take. Some of them are through our training partners. The one to the right is courses that we offer. The new interface that you'll see if you go to learnanalytics.microsoft.com and click on training is you'll see that you can filter, like I said, on different products and technologies and geolocations and modality. You can find classes that are available in person, classes that are available online. There's lots of different combinations of what you can get, and we invite you to come take a tour and see what's there. It's always changing, as you can imagine, as everybody has classes and wants to keep their catalogs up to date. And the last slide is, as I mentioned, the program that I run is the Training Partner Program, and I work to make these training partners available to the world, and I invite you to learn more about that. What I like really very much is that our interface has the ability to connect people that are interested in finding a training partner. Again, these are companies that are interested in building their training practices in the context of advanced analytics products and solutions, that we can connect them for different geographies and some of the different technologies that are there. And if I'm leaving you with anything in this talk, is that the learnanalytics.microsoft.com website is a great place to go to learn about the resources that you have available for learning on these different products. We offer training in almost all of those different technologies to the right that are listed there. If not online, they're available in person. They're open to you around the world. There's a regular, we've been very aggressive in setting up the schedule for this first half year of 2017. You're invited to attend. We want you to attend, and we want you to get enabled. So I think with that, I'm going to see if you all have any questions. I don't see any online, and perhaps turn it back to Subhash.
Thank you, Marla. So good morning, everyone. I'm Subhash Jawarani, and like Sri mentioned, I'm his peer. I'm based in San Francisco, and I'm a technology solution professional focused on data platform and advanced analytics. And prior to this, basically I started my career about 20 years ago working for Oracle, another database solution provider, company based in Redwood Shores. Worked in various different divisions in technology and sales positions. Did a few startup things, and then I joined Microsoft as a SQL Server professional. So I'm pretty well versed with Microsoft as well as some of the leading competitor solutions on the Azure SQL Data Warehouse. And what I want to share with you is that generally, what are some of the major customer challenges and market trends that are happening right now, not in data platform, but also in data warehouses. Can I share some of the traditional challenges which we are seeing in the marketplace? This is the information which we have gathered from talking to Microsoft customers and Microsoft sales professionals, as well as some of the leading analyst companies which have done surveys for Microsoft and other vendors around the world in terms of challenges which they are seeing in the market trends they are seeing in the market solution. Share what is Microsoft's solution vision looks like. This is not just on technology, but our grand vision for the entire analytics platform as well as the data warehousing platform. Share some of the capabilities in data warehouse solution, and then finally kind of showcase some of the opportunities which our partners are leveraging in the marketplace. So what we basically, I think the world of data has changed dramatically. And we recently, there was a survey done by Paradigm. They spoke to roughly about 1,000 data scientists across the country. And one thing which I think we all know is there's a really a massive amount of data explosion, which basically started somewhere around like the mid-2000s. With the popularity of a lot of the social places, like social networks, where a lot of people are going online, and then with the popularity of mobile devices such as iPhone as well as Android and Windows Phone, where a lot of the applications are being downloaded and creating a lot of new generations of data. And the amazing thing was a lot of the data being generated wasn't, besides the volume, explosion of volume, there was also an explosion of the variety of data which was being incorporated in the enterprise. So no longer was data just numerical or relational databases, but the data was in forms of text messages, social feeds, IoT devices which were streaming information in a very large volume of data. And the biggest thing which we found was that a lot of our customers were really struggling to be able to scale to this volume of data. But the most important thing, they were really struggling to analyze this information. Like, how do you analyze information which is in multiple different formats and be able to share the information with the end users? And this is something which is creating a bigger problem. More than the volume is the variety of data which is an average enterprise collects, is basically creating some of the challenges which they find in the marketplace. There was another survey conducted by Dimensional Research, and what they did was they basically spoke to roughly about 1,500 customers across the world, right from small companies to large companies, who already have some sort of data warehousing solution. It doesn't have to be a very sophisticated solution, but whatever they have. And the number one thing they found was the IT team was really struggling to be able to scale, not only in terms of the volume of data, but being able to basically have this sort of different structures of data, how the people are leveraging that. The second thing which became really clear was the cost to maintain it and to be able to acquire the cost. And part of the reason is the data was growing at such a rapid pace. If you look at the traditional model of storing information, that was just not feasible in the modern data warehouse. So those are some of the challenges which really create. And along with that, they still, even after making all the investment, they found that their end users were not really happy with whatever information they provided them. Their end users were looking for a little bit more valuable information that was real time, and that is something which they can be able to go and manipulate that. So this was something that of a really learning experience for us. And what we found, I think pretty much everyone knows big data is a new trend, which a lot of customers have heard about it. And the surprising thing was we assumed that almost every customer is leveraging it. And to be honest, 71% of the customers we spoke to had some sort of strategy to leverage big data, but only 16% of them have actually done a pilot, and less than 5% were fully deployed on big data. The challenge was they were really struggling to understand how the big data is going to play in their organization, how they're going to be able to deploy it, manage it, secure it. So there was a lot more concerns about big data. They saw the value of it, but they really were struggling to understand how they're going to manage and secure the environment. So this is what we are seeing in the marketplace in terms of challenges, in terms of some of the market trends which we spoke to our customers. There's a lot of this being driven by the cloud application, by the new IoT devices, by the billions and billions of mobile devices. So, and the thing is, all of this information, a lot of this data, which is being generated by the users, is not being stored in the organization. So that is the another thing which is of concern to them. So what is Microsoft's solution vision? So I've been in the database business for a long time. I remember when I used to work at Oracle, there were companies leveraging data warehouses, and it was a very simple model. They had some sort of OLTP application. In some cases, they will have an ERP application, whether it be SAP or Oracle. They will have a CRM application. In the old days, it used to be Siebel. Nowadays, there are different dynamic CRM and maybe Salesforce. But the concept was same. You basically had an OLTP application, which you pulled all the information from into a single data warehouse, which you staged separately. And then on top of that, you put some sort of an analytical engine. And even when I was at Oracle, a lot of our customers used to leverage analysis services, which is a market leader in the analytical engine. And then he generated reports for that. And this model worked really well, I would say, in late 90s. But in today's world, the challenge has become is that what we find is, number one, there's a cloud factor. An average company in Bay Area basically has about 19 different applications, SaaS application. Now, a lot of this data is being generated outside your organization, outside the organization. So it might store at the NetSuite or some other vendor's cloud service, and you have to be able to pull that information. The second thing is more and more customers are pulling information from social feeds, IoT devices, mobile devices, and third-party solutions providers, whether it be analyst agencies or the government agencies. Now, this information can be in a different format. It can be really large volume of data. And they're leveraging some of the newer technologies like data lake to be able to store that volume of information. So you have to take that into consideration. The third thing is, along with the analytics, more and more customers want what we call is a predictive analytics. They're no longer happy with what exactly happened in the December 2016 in terms of sales. They say, I get it, but what I wanted to know is how can I improve my sales? What are some of the new products I can sell to my new customers? What are some of the new products I can sell to my existing customers? So this is becoming a lot more really relevant in today's marketplace, especially in the industries like financial services, retail industries, transportation industries. This is becoming really, and this is coming through the technologies called machine learning and R integration and some other things. And finally, more and more customers are not happy with reporting solution. They want to be able to have some sort of a simple tool, whether it be a desktop application or a browser-based solution, where they can be able to go and slice and dice the information. And this is something which is driving a lot of the adoption of this technology. We call it self-service BI, some people call it democratizing the business intelligence solution, but no longer can you just provide these solutions to the CFO and CIO and CEO. You have to be able to share this information with almost every person in your organization. So just imagine each and every sales reps get a fully customized view for his or her territory with their top 10 opportunities, and which is updated on a regular basis, like every 24 hours. This will be something which more and more customers are demanding that, their end users are demanding that. So this is what is driving the adoption of these technologies, and a lot of customers, our customers are really struggling to be able to provide this sort of solution to our customers. And the challenge is the sheer factor of different data formats. The cost of acquiring these new solutions has been really challenging. Now, this is what a Microsoft solution looks like. I mean, SQL Server is a market leader. It's a trusted name, which a lot of customers understand that. They leverage for database. They leverage it for analytical engine, as analytical services. But what they love about it is that SQL Server is deeply integrated into a lot of the newer technologies, especially our Office, which is basically a front end for a lot of your information workers. But along with that, more and more SQL Server is being integrated with the big data and some of the newer big data technologies, as well as Cortana, which is our analytical engine, which allows you to be able to do predictive analytics for each and every industry. And this is something which our customers love, that they love the grander vision, and they can pick and choose which particular technology works for them, and they'll be able to drive the adoption of those things. So just want to kind of share with you, we just launched SQL Server 2016. It has a built-in SQL Server Data Warehouse solution, and it comes in 3 different formats. Number one, if you have a SQL Server on-premise, you can still be able to install SQL Server 2016 on-premise. And for some customers, that's really important because they want to be able to share some information in the cloud, but they want to basically secure certain information on-premise. So we have a full solution for that on-premise, which works great. We also have something called analytical platform system. So think of it as a massively parallel data warehouse. It's an appliance which you can be able to, it's a pre-configured with certain amount of disk storage, and you can be able to just bring it into your in-house, plug it in, and it's going to be up and running. You don't have to do anything in terms of fine-tuning, configuring the system, being able to store the information. It automatically does everything for you. The third thing which we launched recently is SQL Data Warehouse as a cloud service. So it's a fully platform as a service solution which customers can be able to go and deploy them on the Azure. So there's nothing you need to do. And the good thing is it can work in conjunction with your on-premise solution or appliance. So it's not one or the other. You can pick and choose which particular solution works for your organization, or you can choose a hybrid. You can choose multiple different solutions to be able to provide that. So this is something which is really exciting, and I'm going to spend a lot more time talking about our cloud offering for the SQL Server Data Warehouse. So what is the SQL Server Data Warehouse solution? So I think everyone knows that you can run SQL Server as a virtual machine onto the Microsoft Azure platform. It's something which has been available for a long time. But what it does is when you deploy on a virtual machine is that you have to install SQL Server, you have to bring in your license or purchase them. You have to basically go and configure your storage and compute and be able to manage that. With SQL Server, Azure SQL Data Warehouse, it's a platform as a service. It's a fully configured service which can scale. So it can go from, say, today your data warehouse is like 10 terabytes, and tomorrow you have a really successful ad campaign in Super Bowl, and then all of a sudden you have a 70 terabytes of information. It's going to automatically scale for you. So that is something which is really great. A lot of our customers love that. It's done fully in the cloud, and it allows you to separate your compute from storage. So you can make your compute very high performance, and you're willing to pay for that. At the same time, your storage can be a commodity solution, which can be able to store information on that. And it can be able to go back and forth and be able to scale depending on your cost and various factors. So this is something which a lot of our customers leverage that. And the good thing is it's fully integrated with the Microsoft offering of the other solution, which I'll talk more about it. But what you find is that this platform as a service, a fully controlled solution, is the same solution which you leverage today. So there's no difference. You can leverage the same application, same development tool, same management tools which you need to be able to store that information. And the good thing is to be able to deploy it. You can be deployed in minutes. And if you want to bring it back in-house, you can do with a click of an icon and bring it back on-premise. So you can go back and forth for test and dev or storage, or if you basically have some concerns about security, it's the same solution which works on-premise. You can be able to deploy on the cloud. The good thing which I want to make sure you understand that you can separate the storage and the compute things. So it's something which a lot of our customers love that, because they want to be able to store large volume of data, but at times when they're doing a massive amount of processing, they want to add high performance compute parameters to that. And once they're done with processing after 24 hours, they want to bring it down. So this gives you the full scalability, and can do a pause and be able to restart it within a few seconds. So this is something which is really tremendous, and a lot of customers love that. One question we get that, hey, this is really great, I love it, but I already have my existing process in place where I pull information from, say, SAP or Oracle or some third-party vendors, or I have new solution which is based on these different IoT devices. Can I be able to pull information from Stream Analytics and be able to push that information onto the cloud? Or I want to be able to use existing analysis service cubes to be able to analyze the information. The good thing is it is fully compatible with the existing processes. So whatever we have in place today, you can leverage that, along with, so we have some newer technologies which are available to you, and you can take advantage of that. One thing is leveraging HD inside. So a lot of our customers are looking at Hadoop. So you can be able to deploy Hadoop in the Azure and leverage SQL Data Warehouse in conjunction with your Hadoop offering, and to be able to basically analyze the information on that. You can also use Azure Machine Learning Service to be able to do predictive analytics, which you could not do on your on-premise solution. So if you have an on-premise solution which you're happy, but you want to basically do more predictive analytics, you can move your existing solution onto the clouds in Azure SQL Data Warehouse and be able to provide predictive analytics to that. So that is something which is very valuable. Same thing, along with being able to pull information, you can be able to pull information from any source, like I mentioned. The source can be your on-premise cloud, it can be a social media apps, it can be a cloud-based app, SaaS-based apps, and be able to pull, or it can be a third-party event-based driven system, which you can be able to incorporate that. So whatever you think about it, you can be able to leverage it and be able to deploy that. So a lot of our customers say, this is great, but I already have a huge investment in my existing solution. That might be, we use Tableau for analytics. A lot of companies in Bay Area use that. Or we use Informatica for data integration. Do I have to use everything in what you have, or do I have to throw out everything which I've done? No, you can still continue to use that. So Azure SQL Data Warehouse, the moment it was launched, it has 60 partners who are certified to work with them. And these are some of the partners who are certified, and this list is growing pretty rapidly. So there you're going to find more and more partners who are going to be certified on the Azure SQL Data Warehouse offering, and you can continue to be able to leverage these solutions along with that, with your existing investments. So you don't have to throw out anything. So that's something which is really great, which a lot of our partners leverage that. Some of you are pretty familiar with Cortana Intelligence, which is a much broader solution. Cortana Intelligence is a solution which allows you to be able to pull information into a central repository, analyze the information, leverage machine learning and analytics to be able to do predictive analytics, and then share that information through multiple channels, whether it be reporting solution, Power BI, Cortana, and other solutions. The good thing is the Azure SQL Data Warehouse will work with your Cortana Intelligence Suite. So it's already factored into the solution. You can use this SQL Data Warehouse on-premise or in the cloud. So there's nothing you have to do to be able to change it to Cortana Intelligence. It's fully integrated with Cortana Intelligence Suite and be able to leverage the capability of Cortana Intelligence along with Azure SQL Data Warehouse. So that talks about the technology. At this moment, if you have any questions about the technology, I'll take a couple of questions before I dive into the solution offerings and the partner opportunities.
So Subhash, I don't see any questions on the moderator pane. There were a few questions about about the links and stuff like that I've already answered. So I think you're good to go. Okay, great. So in terms of how the customers are leveraging that, I mean, we have a banking company based in Scotland called Royal Scotland, Bank of Scotland, and they basically wanted to make sure that every time the customer walks into their branch, whether it be a branch on the phone or social media via Twitter or Facebook, they have the up-to-the-minute information about that customer. So what they did was they leveraged SQL Data Warehouse to be able to pull all the information about the customer from their in-house systems to some of the social media networks and some of the other solution. And what they did was they provided that information to their customer service agent, whether they were tellers in the bank or they were customer service desk on the phone, or to their social media agents who are behind on managing Twitter accounts or Facebook accounts. Now the thing is, the same information is available to everyone. So when they interacted with the customers, they had a full 360-degree view. So if somebody complained about a customer, say, I had a bad experience withdrawing 100 pounds in ABC branch, the social media agent exactly knows when did the customer went to which particular branch, and it also knew when did the customer call which particular agent, and it was able to see that information. So now it knew that this customer has tried to interact with the bank twice before. They had some challenges. Along with that, they can also provide, there was a power outage at the bank and their machines were not working. That's why we were not able to provide the service. So now when they have an interaction with the customer, they can say, hey, we are sorry we had this bad experience. This is the reason why it happened, and let us try to correct that and let us work with you on that. So this is something which I'm seeing is very applicable not only in the financial services but in a lot of other industry. A perfect example would be retail industry, where customers go to a store and they don't find their size, and they go online and they have some challenges with that, and they go to social media. Airline industry is really adopting this technology. Transportation industry is really adopting the technology. So this is something which I'm finding is becoming very relevant to a lot of the industry. And the good thing is, these customers are interacting through multiple channels, but the same information about the customer can also be found in multiple social media networks, your in-house branch network, as well as some of the other services which they have online. Same thing is a grocery chain company, basically Crossmark. They had their customers who are coming in to be able to pull on a daily basis. And what they did was around noon, they will pull all the information, what is selling well in their store. And by 1 p.m., so within an hour, they had all the items that were selling well, not selling well, and each and every store manager can decide what promotion they want to run on that store
for that particular day. So this is something which was not feasible till about, I would say, a few years ago, because it used to take 24 hours to pull all the information about different items that were being sold. And in this case, they were able to pull information real time from point of sale. So think of IoT devices, and real time from the shelf, what items are selling well, and be able to create and provide that information to the store manager. And this is something which I find more and more customers are leveraging that. Not only the large retail companies, but even smaller companies like mom and pop stores would love to see this information on a daily basis or an hourly basis to be able to make a decision, hey, what promotions or what product they want to put them on sale, what product they want to basically be able to kind of hold up, which are selling really well. So we find that a lot of the new generation of applications are being feasible because of the cloud, because of some of these modern technology which allows you to be able to pull information from multiple data sources, be able to provide this information to the end user customers. So when you talk to your customers, just don't think that, hey, they're looking at a traditional data warehouse or they want to upgrade their SQL Server. A lot of time the conversation is being driven by the newer modern solution, which I'll talk about it. So what is the opportunity for you as a partner to be able to go and have those conversations with the customers? So I would say when you talk to the customer, I've never met a customer who comes to me and says, Subhash, I want to upgrade my SQL Server 2005 to 2016. I'll be honest with you, that really rarely happens. It might happen if they are out of compliance, or it might happen if they are refreshing their hardware. But in most cases, I find they're pretty happy with it. What is happening is a lot of times they find requests from their end users saying that, hey, how come I'm only being able to see the reports, what happened last year? Why can't I be able to see, hey, on real-time reports? Or how come I'd be able to see information about, hey, if a particular product is selling well, if I can up the inventory, how high can I go before it starts basically giving me not so optimal ROI? So these are something what we call is the predictive analytics. And there are certain vendors like SAS has been there doing it for a long time. Customers love it, but the problem is that the cost is absolutely exorbitant, and it's only applicable to like the CFO. And a lot of the times, they don't have a solution offering for an average store manager or a insurance agent or some of the other people which they work with them. So that is something which you want to think about it. So when you talk to customers, if they're developing new application, if they're talking about machine learning, predictive analytics, that's a great opportunity for you to go and talk about SQL Data Warehouse, because in most cases, they are not looking to basically bring this technology in-house. They are looking at cloud-based solution, and we have a perfect solution. I mean, you can have Azure SQL Data Warehouse up and running within few minutes. There's nothing you have to do about it. The second thing I find is that a lot of customers today in the marketplace are leveraging SQL as an analytical engine. So they're leveraging SQL Server analysis services. And a lot of these customers are leveraging 2005, which was a very robust analytical platform. We invested 5 years into that. And I know so many customers who have upgraded their Oracle and SAP ERP, but they still leverage it because it's a rock-solid platform. The thing is, it's about 10-year-old platform. There's so many new innovations that has happened in SQL over 2016, things like in-memory analytics or column store databases, and some of the newer technologies which we talk about in terms of big data, which are not available in 2005. So this is a really great opportunity for you to go and be able to upgrade those. And finally, this would be I would say, if you come across a customer who's looking at Tableau or SAS and they're basically complaining about the cost, or they're saying that, you know what, it's so cost prohibitive, how can I provide the same solution to an average person within my organization, average sales rep or a sales manager or marketing manager? That is a perfect opportunity to lead with SQL Data Warehouse. We basically rule that particular segment. We basically provide these solutions for every employee within an organization. Finally, I want to mention that with you, we have a new promotion. So if you have a customer which says, you know what, I like the concept of SQL Data Warehouse, but I'm not sure if I want to basically start a subscription, wouldn't we get grace if I can do a trial? So for any customer you have till the end of June 30th, basically till end of June, they can get 1 month of free trial. So there's a limit in terms of data warehouse units they can leverage, but there's no restrictions on usage trial. They can be able to bring any information they want, any amount of storage, and be able to try out the solution. And I think 1 month is a pretty fair time for you to be able to see if this solution is good or technology is going to work for me or not. So this is a great opportunity for you to go to your customers and say, hey, we have a great solution which you might be able to leverage it and some be able to try it out. So definitely think about leveraging this really great offer for your customers and be able to try that out. So in conclusion, I would say I think Azure SQL Data Warehouse is a great offering. I just had a conversation with a customer last week. It was a CTM customer, which did not have any data warehousing solution because they were 3-person IT shop. They had an Excel reporting solution, and they wanted to do a SQL data warehouse, but they want to do everything in the cloud. And they were really excited about that because now there's one platform through which they can be able to get everything. But the most important thing, they don't want to have anything on premise. So this gives you a great solution. The platform they know, they trust SQL Server, all the latest technologies in terms of big data, HD inside, and the full integration with the reporting solution and some of the third-party analytical solution. This is like something I would say is going to be something which is going to resonate really well. In fact, of all the different opportunities with the SQL, I feel like this is something which a lot of our customers are not familiar with that, and I would definitely encourage you to have those conversations. Learn more about SQL Data Warehouse. I mean, there's a lot of training available online, but also bring this up with every customer you talk to, because I feel like even I did not know about this about a month ago, month and a half. So it's something which is a really new offering, which is very robust, and I would say definitely take advantage of that. With that, I would like to open the floor for any questions you might have.
So thank you so much, Subhash. I don't see any questions online right now, but we do have some time. So if you all have any questions, feel free to use the messages pane to send those questions. There were some questions about Azure pricing calculators and all that kind of stuff that I already sent a reply back. There's a question coming in saying that Yammer is not letting me access the link, so I will reply back to the partner that had that question and see if we can get that set up. But yeah, any other questions that you have, again, please feel free to use the messages pane, and we'll get you set up. So thank you once again, and we do have some time, so if you want to disconnect, that's fine. We did finish covering all the topics today, but we will hold on to any other questions. So there's one more question coming in, Subhash, and that is, why is Azure SQL Data Warehouse better than SQL Server database?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question again?
Why is Azure SQL Data Warehouse better than SQL Server database, I think is the question. And if that is wrong, just please ask again. So I'm not sure if, it says SQL DB, so I'm not sure what SQL DB means.
So as Azure Data Warehouse basically think of SQL Server as a full-fledged data warehouse in terms of it has the robust in terms of configuration and management, and it's a platform as a service. If you use SQL Server as a virtual machine, you have to basically create a virtual machine, install SQL Server, and then manage it. So you have to create the storage parameters, all the different compute parameters, and if your data grows exponentially, or if your number of users grow exponentially, you have to pre-configure that to be able to add more compute capability or more storage capabilities. And when you don't need that, you have to kind of bring it down back again. With SQL Data Warehouse is already pre-configured as a data warehouse. So it has a pre-built-in parameters and storage and columns, which you can be able to leverage that. And it automatically scales both for the storage as well as for the compute. So if tomorrow you have 10,000 users coming to your website or application, it will automatically adjust the number of compute nodes. Or if tomorrow, if your data grows from say 10 terabytes to 70 terabytes, it's going to automatically add storage and be able to pre-configure that. So it eliminates the need to be able to manage it. So think of it as a platform as a service, whereas the other thing is IaaS. So if you deploy SQL on a virtual machines, it's an IaaS. So you still have to basically manage it and be able to configure that.
Okay, that's perfect. So, and there's a question about training. So, where can we get relevant training materials for free? And so some of the content and resources that Marla shared. I mean, a lot of them, you have online access to it. We also will have some training, boot camps that we are working on in the next couple of months that I'll be able to share some more information in Yammer. So please be on the lookout, but I'm not sure, Marla, if you have anything more to add. The question really is, where can we get relevant training materials for free?
Yeah, thank you. There's actually, I think Sri pointed you to the right place. Definitely check out our website. What I'm also adding to the deck is a link to a kind of side site to that portal that provides both community guides and information about the different courses, not just information, but the actual content of the courses, so that maybe that if you want to kind of look at it on your own, maybe use it for your customers as you put together your own materials, you can get that too. So that's actually a GitHub, and I'll include that in the deck that Sri will share with all of you, and you can share it on the Yammer as well, Sri.
Yep, will do. Sounds good. All right, there's a few more questions coming in. And I think the previous question about why SQL Data Warehouse is better than SQL Server and VM. Actually, the question was, why is SQL Data Warehouse better than Azure SQL DB, the PaaS service? And I did reply back. So at a high level, the Azure SQL DB service is more for transactional workloads, more OLTP workloads, whereas Azure SQL Data Warehouse is specifically for data warehousing type workloads. It is an MPP engine in the cloud. That is the primary difference. Now, you still can use Azure SQL DB for data warehousing solutions, right? But Azure SQL DW is specifically tuned and configured for data warehousing workloads because it does use an MPP engine at the back.
Got it.
And then a couple of other questions. Can you suck data to Azure Data Warehouse from Postgres and MongoDB? Do we have those connectors available? Do you know, Subhash?
So we definitely have for MongoDB. For Postgres, I have to kind of confirm that and get back to you on that.
Yeah, so if you want to email us, and I think you have our email address from that other question that you had posted, we can find out more about that, and we'll get back to you. And another question coming in, how do we migrate on-premise cube solutions to the cloud?
The cubes, that is leveraging SQL Server analysis services, analytical engine?
I'm guessing that there's not more information there, but yeah, I think that could be one example of a cube solution on-premise.
So there are a couple of ways you can do that. You can be able to deploy them in the IS platform, leverage SQL Server separate, and move all your cubes onto the platform. The Azure SQL Data Warehouse has a migration tool to be able to allow you to upgrade your existing analytical platform to the SQL Server Data Warehouse. So you have two options. You can put them onto a separate Azure virtual machine and keep it separate from Data Warehouse, or you can bring it to a Data Warehouse, make it part of a Data Warehouse, and then add some more capabilities onto that.
Okay, perfect. Another question coming in, is Azure Data Warehouse compatible with SSIS on-premise or through Azure VMs?
So it's definitely compatible with SQL Server integration service on-premise. It depends on which version. I mean, I believe it supports 2012, 2014. Anything older than that, I'll have to confirm that in terms of what level of support do we have. But if you have a SQL Server 2012 or 2014 integration services, you can be able to upgrade that, migrate that to Azure SQL Data Warehouse.
Okay, perfect. Let me see some questions on the deck, which I already replied back, and one of the other partners also offer free training. So Pragmatic Works is one of our top partners, and there was a comment that pragmaticworks.com is a website you can go to for some training. So definitely another resource that you can leverage. And then there's also another comment that Azure Analysis Services is now available in the cloud, which is a great point. So we do have Azure Analysis Services as a PaaS offering, as a platform as a service offering. So for that other question about moving the on-premise cube solutions to the cloud, you may also want to look at our analysis services PaaS offering that just recently launched in Azure as well.
Got it. Great.
Don't know if there is any other questions here. Okay, there's one more coming in. Can we utilize Azure SQL Server predictive analytics on-premise data warehouse? And so the question I think is, can you use any of the on-premise data warehouses, like if you have an appliance or if you have SQL Server, can we still use the Azure SQL Server predictive analysis? I'm guessing that when you're saying SQL Server predictive analysis in Azure, you're talking about some of our Cortana Intelligence services around machine learning, etc. And the answer to that is yes. And that's one of the advantages of using the Microsoft platform end-to-end is, we completely support a hybrid implementation where your data can be on-premise and some of these services can be running in Azure or the other way around, right? So yeah, it's basically think of, the Cortana Intelligence set of services as a bunch of Lego blocks. You can mix and match, on-premise and cloud options for most of the situations. And also not only that, like Subhash mentioned, you can even have non-Microsoft solutions in that architecture. So it's very, very flexible from that perspective.
Any more questions, Sri?
I see one more on Azure Data Warehouses. Azure SQL Data Warehouse is not analysis services. Existing cubes, be they TDS or MDX, are going to be migrated, correct? I'm just going to ask for some more clarification, Subhash, because I don't understand the question. So if I'm just going to give them my email address, and if they want to ask the question again, it's fine. But let me see if there are any other questions. Is SQL Server 2016 supporting analysis of unstructured data? And the answer is yes. So with SQL Server 2016, there is also a new feature which was actually first introduced in our data warehousing product called Polybase. And with Polybase, you can actually both analyze structured and unstructured data. So you can have your data, for example, residing in a Hadoop implementation, and structured data that can be in any of the relational stores, and you can combine them and analyze it. So Polybase is one feature that can help you do that. And I'm going to answer a couple of the other questions directly here on in the messages pane. And we have about 3 minutes left, so I want to take the opportunity to thank everyone. And we had a lot of people on the call, and some really good interaction. And we learned about two great resources today. One, learnanalytics.microsoft.com from Marla. So I want to thank Marla for that. I think that information is going to be very valuable for accessing training content, preparing for certifications, and in general, getting ready for being able to deliver these solutions to our customers. And I want to thank Subhash for doing an excellent job of going over the SQL Data Warehouse. And like Subhash said, Azure SQL Data Warehouse is definitely a great service, a platform as a service that you can leverage, because we have a lot of customers that are still using, the traditional architecture. And as you talk to them about some of the challenges that we typically hear from customers, Azure SQL DW is definitely an important piece of the Microsoft solution stack that you can leverage. I don't know if you've listened to our previous presentations, but we did go over the entire Cortana Intelligence stack, and we'll probably do that in one of the upcoming presentations. The key point to remember is that Azure SQL Data Warehouse is just one service amongst a number of services that our Cortana Intelligence Suite provides. So there is, services for ingesting data. There is services for storing data. There is services for doing MPP processing like Azure SQL Data Warehouse. There are services for, predictive analytics, machine learning. We have R services, and we also have services for, visualization like Power BI, etc. So there's a lot of different services that you can leverage in our Cortana Intelligence stack. And learnanalytics.microsoft.com actually has a ton of links and resources to help you learn all of those different services and understand the end-to-end ecosystem. So with that, we are right at the top of the hour. So I want to once again thank everyone, and I hope to see you all in the next month's community call, which will be in February. And I'll send you, invites and information to that. Or once again, Yammer is our main platform for hearing about announcements and any other upcoming events. So thanks everyone once again, and at this time I'm going to go ahead and end the call. Thank you.